The ID.3 was a bit of a disappointment at launch. The ID.4 was the same in terms of interior quality. It was a big letdown, and even Volkswagen have admitted this. The ID.3 addressed that a little bit with its refresh, and the ID.4 I'm sure will be doing that at some point. But this is the ID.7. According to Volkswagen's PR bump, it's the most advanced, luxurious and capacious of the ID family. So, does it give us that? As always, we will have a look around the outside, the inside, and then take it for a spin. I want to know if it is indeed luxurious and capacious. Now, it's clearly an ID family car. It's got the look, it's got the light bar at the front. It's the typical Volkswagen thing. They all look kind of similar. It doesn't have many design features to point out. I mean, it has a bit of aero going on, and again, the light bar's quite good. I want a bit more from Volkswagen, I think, on this one. They've proven with the ID Buzz that they can make something with this face look cool and funky. And obviously that's quite a different shape and car, but this does, well, I think of repmobile a bit when I look at this, a bit safe. It's not ugly, I don't mind it at all, but I don't think I'm ever gonna lock the car and look back at it, you know, when you walk away thinking that's a good looking car. Now this is a long car. In fact, it's about that much shorter, so basically the same length as a Tesla Model S. So this is very, very long, which should be good for interior space, which we'll show you in a second. So it is kind of barge-like. It's longer than the Passat, which is kind of what this is replacing in electric car world anyway. It doesn't feel too wide though. So when you're driving it, it's not like an EV9 or anything like that, or a big SUV. And I'm glad, look, it's not an SUV. They even do an estate version, which I'll put on the picture now. And for me, I think the estate version's the one I'd go for. For the 600, 700, 800 quid more, it does look cooler. But I'm at that age now. As soon as you get above the age of, what, 30, 35, estates look better than the standard car they're based on. I think that's an age thing though, as I said. Now, the door handles, they are flush, but you just have to press the button there once you unlock it. Technical malfunctions, give us a second. It just does that. So it's not got these stupid sticky outy and go back in it sort of handles, or the Model 3 ones that you have to kind of do that with. The rear, huge, huge door. I mean, you could get almost anything in that. You could put a wardrobe nearly. But again, interior space later on. It's a repmobile. As Harry just said there, Darren from sales drives this. But he's mid-level management. The GTX, which is the bigger battery and performance four-wheel drive version, that's for higher level management people. But it is something I think you will see driving up and down the motorway. The back, it's an odd one. It's got kind of like a concave effect going on here. And although it is pretty Volkswagen-esque, maybe, you know, it's got that Passat sort of look with it. I mean, you've got this big light bar across here. I want to like it because I like Volkswagens, I always have done. And I don't dislike it, but nor am I ever going to fall in love with it. The boot, it's a long car, so it should be huge. It is quite big, and you do have a bit of a false floor underneath there. It's smaller, quite a bit smaller actually than the Model 3/Y. Although it is bigger than other cars in this class. So it's kind of in the middle, which kind of sums this car up a lot at the moment. It's in the middle. It's safe. It's an easy option almost. No wiper. That'll annoy a few people. It always does in the comment section. But you know what? It's a Volkswagen. It's a Passat. Let's face it. They could put Passat here and no one would argue. It's not the most exciting car in the world, but it's not a boring one either. It's Nigel from accounts. Now, with it being such a long car, maybe we've got a decent sized frunk, fruit, whatever you want to call it. Come on, there we go. See, part of me thinks, why can't everybody have a frunk, fruit, whatever, you know, the front storage compartment? Because, why? It's a ground up EV. Right, so this is the steering wheel. It's a typical VAG affair.
haptic feedback. Not a major fan personally, because you do catch it occasionally. Let's turn the music off that starts every time you get in. The doors, well, you've got the leatherette there, that's okay. That's soft-ish. You've got the Alcantara effect. And yes, you still have the switch at the front for the mirror, for the window, sorry, and then you click the rear to adjust the rears, which, let's face it, it isn't better, just like Tesla's indicator stalks, it isn't better. It's to save Volkswagen from manufacturing a couple of more switches. So yeah, that again I'm not a fan of. You got the lights there, which are a bit obscured by the steering wheel, but you leave it on auto and you're done. And the dash, again, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. I think you can get away with it because it is textured. And this, which I think I really like this, it's basically a little binnacle. So instead of the ID.3, which is kind of sat on top, this is embedded in. You've got the door bin down here, which is lined so it doesn't rattle around. Nice size as well. Open the boot, turn the car on by pressing the brake, and you'll see, or maybe not on the camera, it's got a heads-up display. More on that later. And this 15-inch screen, which I have to say makes a big difference. It's almost like a MacBook Pro versus a MacBook Air in the ID.3s and 4s. You can put the quick links, if you will, up there. So click on that and it takes you straight to the turn the annoying stuff off, which does turn back on again due to the EU regulations. There's a few things and a few other cars that definitely do it better. And you've got the haptic feedback thing here, but it is backlit at least. Now, Harry, as the front passenger, would you like upstrokes or circles?
There we go.
I'm going to go for relaxation. The air vents, you can't adjust manually. There's no knobs to play with, Harry.
Nothing. No.
Nothing. So what you have to do is go to the climate control, which is that one, and do the old, Tesla thing. Which again, just give me some knobs to hang on to. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
All I ask.
That's what it needs.
Whilst we're here, then, should we do it?
Oh.
What the? So right, so it's half a glove
of a
box.
glove box.
Which, why are Volkswagen doing this now? This I quite like. It hides the cup holders. That's your wireless phone charging. Of course, you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and auto and stuff. A few USBs. So yeah, that's actually quite nice, and it feels quite, very solid. Back here, you got some storage, which goes really, really deep, and you can move that around as well. So they've got most things covered, to be fair, and apart from a bit of black gloss, this is a much, much nicer interior than any other ID car.
Yeah. Even the seats are nice, aren't they? Should we have a quick look?
Nice seats.
They're nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're
Nice
grippy.
seats.
I kind of like this
You can
material.
see it bulging there for the massage option.
Yeah.
Are they the upstrokes, Harry?
They certainly are.
So no, I do like the seats, and I like the fact that we're sat in the car rather than on top of it. That's what it kind of feels like to me. It's a bit dismal with this though, so it's an optional extra is the panoramic roof. I would definitely go for that. Yeah, definitely go for that, because it, again, you could probably tell on camera it's quite dark.
It's black and grey and all sorts in here, isn't it?
It's very Volkswagen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. It's big back there.
It's like a limousine.
It is. I mean, let me see if we can get your feet.
I mean, that is just, I can't even.
That's in a normal position.
Look.
And actually, again, that's in a normal position for yourself.
It is,
a normal full adult.
Yeah.
So we haven't pushed it anywhere forward. It can go a lot further forward. That's a colossal amount of leg room, isn't it? Ooh, the middle seat doesn't look massive though.
No, and it's not.
A hump.
There's not really a seat for it, is there? You've got that section there.
Yeah. So 3 kids would do it, but 2 adults.
Oh, 2 adults in the back is going to be like business class.
Your head doesn't look like it's got a lot of space though.
No, I guess if you're much taller than me, I'm guessing you're going to. I mean, I'm 5'10", so 6 foot's probably going to be your limit in the back. Because it's got that coupe look.
Yeah.
It sort of does make
I would definitely
a bit of a hash of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Estate for me is definitely a better looker. It'd get a lot of photocopier toner in there though.
You certainly would, yeah. Geoff from the photocopying department is going to love it, isn't he?
Before we go any further,
Yes.
I want to challenge you. I'm hiding my eyes because hay fever's punching my face right now, guys. Options. We've got the hood. We've got these nice massage seats.
Wasn't it just raining?
No. This is not several days after the first shoot
definitely
because
not.
of a microphone malfunction at all.
No.
And we're not pretending to say this for the first time either.
No.
So this has got a hood,
Yeah.
massage seats, nice interior. Other than the heat pump, which obviously there's no way of knowing that, that definitely is an optional extra on this press car.
Yeah.
How much do you think we've
What
got
do
in
I think?
options?
What do I think's an extra?
Yeah, what is an option pack?
I think these seats were an extra because of the massage.
Massage seats.
And I think with that you probably get the trim. It's nice blue trim going around.
Yeah, hood.
The hood, it's German. It's got to be an option, hasn't it?
They do that, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
But yeah, no, they do that a lot, the Volkswagen. Everything's an option. Well, this is a bog standard car.
Is it?
There are no
The
options.
seats?
The seats are standard, the hood's standard.
Heated steering wheel?
Yeah.
Standard?
Yep.
Wow.
Heated seats. It's not cooled seats, but it's heated seats. But yeah, this is a standard spec car. Other than the heat pump, there's nothing else on this press car.
Wow.
I mean, we would, like we said, panoramic is
does
definitely
need
one
a
I'd go
panoramic
for.
roof,
I think
yeah.
that's 1,000-ish or something, because it comes with other stuff.
Money well spent.
They also have adaptive suspension as a pack with other things again, which this hasn't got, but it's a comfortable car.
Yeah.
So would you spec it? Because the adaptive suspension is very good.
I don't know.
You know, on other cars.
I'd want to see what it was like.
I could live without it.
Having not had it, it does seem to cope with bumps really well.
Yes.
It's comfortable, it's well judged.
I mean, it's not helpful at all to any person actually watching this, but in terms of the ride and the handling, it's like a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it does do car very well, doesn't it?
It's a car, not an SUV. It doesn't roll. It's comfortable, like you say, and ultimately, it feels very smooth.
Do you know, when I've been driving it, it's a long car,
Very long.
but
It's not a wide one, is
from
it?
here, it doesn't feel much different to a Golf.
No, it's only a bit wider than the ID.3. So
Yeah. Getting
like
it in
you say,
between parked cars and traffic, I've not had a problem with it.
The only time I've noticed its significant length, no jokes, is parking. You had to hold back there, didn't you?
I've got to say, parking is one of those where you're going, do you know, I've taken this shopping a couple of times and it hasn't fit in a parking bay.
It sticks out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally...
It's like you've parked it really badly from a
It's
distance.
a Model S in length,
Yeah.
which for the UK is quite a long car. That's
As
the
you
only
were
downside.
saying earlier, you wouldn't want it much longer than this.
No. So I keep telling her. Have we got all the
don't know.
long innuendos out of the way yet? Just to get it out of your system, so I'll give you some more upstrokes.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. 280 odd brake horsepower, rear-wheel drive. There's a GTX coming out, which is going to be four-wheel drive in a bigger battery version.
Do you need more power than this?
I don't think so, because 280 odd brake is...
It's
a quick car, isn't it?
I've
But
never
it's
thought
not
it
rapid.
needed lots more.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
it goes.
it almost pins you back in your seat.
Yeah.
It's close, but yeah, any quicker than this, and you're into like that EV6 GT territory, where you're like,
Unmanageable.
it's in the wet. It's going to be
Yeah.
borderline dangerous.
Well, in the wet anyway, we've been rear-wheel drive. There's a couple of times where I've pulled out of a junction and the back's just like twitched a little bit.
Yeah, you got.
You know where the traction control's cutting unnecessarily.
Well, you got all that
or
power and
harshly.
torque of the EV that's going
Yeah.
through the back. If this is 51,500 upwards,
Yeah.
that's going to be with the bigger battery as well, 60s at least.
I think as well you're going to
Who's
probably
buying a
see
60 odd grand Volkswagen?
you can see a big hit on economy on that. I mean, this is quite economical, isn't it?
You know what? It's more economical than I thought it would be. I mean, at the moment we've got 84% on the battery, and it reckons 283 miles left. And it's been used a lot, mainly kind of town-to-town driving, really.
Yeah. It's been stuck in traffic for last hour with the air conditioning on.
Yeah, and the temperature is very good for an EV right now, we should point out. So this isn't all year round range, but I think 250 to 280
I would say that.
in terms of range.
Yeah.
And it's got a 77, I believe, kilowatt hour battery or thereabouts. Volkswagen, when it started again with the ID.7, was
Terrible,
awful.
wasn't it? Yeah.
So they've clearly fixed things.
I wonder why it's so quiet on the road. Oh, football's on. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a sacrifice that we're making here because of the audio malfunction. We've had to basically do it a few days later and get it for a bit longer, and we're missing the England match.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I'm glad I watched the first England match then. In Germany. Is this one of those cars that the longer you have it, the more it grows on you?
I've got to say, when we did the first review of it and I drove it around a little bit, I was like,
we had it for a week, didn't we?
yeah.
And split it between.
So you'd driven it more before I drove it, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It does its job.
Yeah.
And then the longer I've had it, the more it's grown on me. The only part I don't like of it is the way it looks. There's no flair to it. It's just a car, isn't it? You just park it, it'll blend in with everything else.
It's like a Passat. But this is a company car for me in terms of that's the bigger sales.
Well, funny you
That's
should
what
say
they're
that.
going
One of my neighbours came round to have a look at it because he'd gone to the local Volkswagen dealers who didn't have one. because it's on his company car list for next time, which is coming up in a couple of months.
Okay. So is he getting one?
I think so, yeah. Him and his son came to look at it. And
So
they
we've
were,
sold one.
Yeah. And they came to look at it and they were just like, wow, this is a Volkswagen? I'm like, yeah, this is it. And I showed him all the stuff. He's like, well, I won't be getting any of that, will I? He says, no, this is as it is.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? So I'm looking at an Audi, but he says, to be honest with you, he says, I think this is a better package than the Audi. And the thing is, it's one of them, isn't it, where if you're spending your own 50, whatever it is, £1,000 on one of these, you probably go for something else. But if I had to have one of these on a company car, I'd be ticking it.
I mean, the charging, we'll mention that now, 170 kilowatts. Is that enough for a 77 kilowatt hour battery? I mean, it's about the minimum I would want on a car of this size.
Again, I think that's what we were saying, isn't it, in the previous take, is that it just about, I wouldn't say it scraped through, it does enough and then just a little bit extra, but not enough to blow you out the water, does it?
Yeah, it's very middle of the road.
Yeah. It's like, all right, well, that's enough.
Good all-rounder.
Do you know what? A fantastic all-rounder.
Your money, 51 and a half, 52, 53, 54 sort of thing with options.
My money, I'm getting a Genesis. Somebody else's money.
Or a Tesla Model 3 long range /
Model
Y.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming back to that thing again, aren't we? We're always saying, the car's fine. It's the other options you've got, which you'll probably prefer.
Yeah. For me, the boot's compromised. It's
okay.
It's not. Yeah, it's very shallow, isn't it?
You're not getting a server in that, are you, with your toner?
You're not getting your photocopier refresher kit in there, are you?
No, definitely not. What do you reckon the cheapest ID.7 on Art Trader is right now? It's 6 months old. It's a launch edition with 680 miles, and it's a 73 reg. In Wakefield.
4650.
41,374.
41. Sorry. I'm nearly choked there.
Can't believe it, can you? 41,374. 6 month old, done less than 1,000 miles. Launch edition of this car.
Wow. Just think in 2 or 3 years' time. Just think when they come out of warranty.
Oh, I reckon when this is even 2 years old, it's going to be
25.
20, I'm going to 26, 27.
And do you know what's going to help? There'll be a lot of them if people get this company car.
Yeah, so in 2 or 3 years' time, it's big.
You'll be able to get one that's got more miles on. That'll bring the price down.
So this is going to be a bargain used car then.
A good family car. I mean, if we had 3 or 4 years of not very good Volkswagens in terms of
interior quality,
fit and finish,
haptic stuff, touchscreen, this and that.
I mean, for me, the haptic thing, take it away. It never needed fixing.
No.
Who in Germany went? I won't do a German accent. Who in Germany went? Buttons. I've got a better idea than that.
It's a manufacturing decision.
Saving money again. And even that, I mean, I've got used to doing the volume on the slider and the temperature on the slider, and it's all right. But what happened to using the knob?
Yeah. You should never have to get used to anything. It drives me up the wall with people. You get used to it. Again, the Tesla indicators, you get used to it. You should never have to.
It's not progress, is it?
No.
It's a step backwards. Yeah.
With the ID3 and the 4 and the 5, you give it a food-based analogy. So the ID3 was essentially a pot noodle with the flavour removed.
Yeah.
So what is the ID7?
It's still water. So
still water?
Yeah, still water. It's nice. Sometimes you really want it, but there's other things out there that are a bit nicer.
You just want a bit of flavour occasionally?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, and it does a good job. But sometimes you just want something a bit more fizzy, maybe, or something like that.
More alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a grower. It's a definite grower.
Yeah, I think if you took one out just for a test drive, you probably wouldn't appreciate it as much as it's more subtle. It sort of gets under your skin a little bit.
So it's a Volkswagen safe bet.
It is.
You won't be disappointed, but you won't be lit on fire either. And
No.
Do you know what else is also a safe bet?
Judging by it won't cost you a lot and you won't be set on fire, the membership to the channel.
Absolutely. And I've actually started doing members only videos. There's at least a couple a week, 1 to 2 a week at least, going out now just for members, staying as members only, including my recent trip to a certain England match where I almost got arrested, but I'll leave that there. So no, I'm glad Volkswagen are back. I've always liked Volkswagens, and I'm glad that they're doing something that fits the bill that they've been given, the brief that the designers have been given. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
What score was the England match tonight?
Sorry, I don't have any information for the UEFA European Championship.
German. German, innit? That's why. My eyes.